Okay, we all have our little maps, and there are 3 routes that we're doing. There's the green route, the blue route, and the red route. Here's my bird I brought. We're going to take 3 pictures. I want to do one on the side, and I didn't grab it. If some people are more comfortable wearing gloves, you may do that. And we're going to put the bird in the bag. And I'm going to write that number on here. Okay, it is kind of sad when we have a dead bird, but every single bird will go to A&M and their research collection. And each bird, there's about 10 different researchers all over the world. They'll look at DNA, feather research, all sorts of things. So it actually is used scientifically.
The idea behind this is to try to utilize citizen science to come up with research quality data. So the way to do that is to make sure that everybody does the data collection in the same way. So the protocol, as designed by Cornell Ornithology, says that we will look downtown for 2 hours between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. And there's a specific process for collecting the data and then storing it in a tool called iNaturalist. And iNaturalist is an app that you can download onto a cell phone, and with that you can record observations of birds or plants or insects. Really, it's anything, but it's just a data store for, in our particular case, for this for this data that can then be searched for research. We want to perform the study for 2 years across 4 different migration seasons, because the idea is that birds migrate at night, not during the day, and that's why we're out here at the crack of dawn every morning to search these buildings. And so we started the project last spring, and we did the first research last spring, and we're going to do it this fall. We'll do it again next spring, and then the following fall, and that'll give us 2 years worth of data, and we'll be able to trend across those 4 migration seasons and come up with hopefully information that we can submit to the city and to building managers with suggestions around what can we do during peak migration periods.
The spring migrations have a tendency to be larger groups of birds together, and so if there were, winds a certain direction or something, it's more likely you could encounter more fatalities in the spring. Okay, in the fall, birds have a tendency to be migrating more in, not small groups or as individuals even. So it's not the same.
I have always been interested in birds and have always wanted to start birding as a hobby. I did that a lot on my own for a while, and then I started volunteering. I looked online on the Audubon website and started volunteering with them. And I met a huge array of people, of experienced birders, and I've been going out and birding with them and just learning so much, and really learning that I still have a lot to learn. But yes, birding is a fantastic hobby, and volunteering through the Audubon Society and through Texas Master Naturalist Program is a great way to meet people who can help you get started with that hobby.
So part of what makes this difficult is with a lot of these buildings, there are overhangs and balconies. We have lots of hotels. And so if there's a bird strike that occurs up higher in the building, for us to find it, it has to fall all the way down here onto the sidewalk. And if it falls into one of the balconies or like a parking garage, the upper level of a parking garage, then we can't find the bird. So it makes it a little bit of a challenge. Sometimes I wish we had a drone where we could ride the drone up higher, but you do what you can.
A lot of times cats or other animals will get to the carcasses before we do. So we did find some remnants of birds that may have been possible bird strike victims. And even if we just find a pile of feathers, we go ahead and record that, photograph it, and take note of it. So no, we didn't find much in the spring, at least I didn't personally, but I'm interested to see what that data will say.
So the question that we get often is, so if, regardless of what you do, you're going to go to the city, you're going to ask them to mitigate their lighting plans, and the answer to that is no. If we don't find data that supports action, then there's no need to ask for action, because when we do go to the city and we want to ask for action, we want the city to say, oh, you're Bexar Audubon Society, and so the work you do is rational, and the work that you do has meaning. And it's all about gaining credibility. So if we do this study and we don't find a problem in the downtown area, what we would probably do is start looking at other parts of the town where of San Antonio where there is a problem.
We're gonna do upside down bird. Okay. And we'll see what it says. It says, well, it's Texas star. It thinks it's a sea creature. The other day I did it, it showed it as a bat. Or a bat. Anyway.
I thought that was more accurate. Angular.
Or origami species.